People.
Yep.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Mark Isaac Potter Presents. Today we're visiting with the lovely Tammie Vecchiarelli.
You got it.
Oh, God. Whee! Touchdown! Vecchiarelli. Um, you're just divine, my dear. I wish I could take you out to dinner. No, I guess I shouldn't say that. Old enough to be your great grandfather, probably. Um, so I have tons of things I want to ask you over, like I said, over the next 35, 40 shows. One
Sure.
of which is about mandalas.
Ooh,
Can
okay.
you tell us about? And I had an acquaintance
Hmm.
who used to make and might still make mandalas. And is it okay if I finish my breakfast while we talk?
Sure, it's your show. You do what you want.
Anyway, so yeah, especially with the spiritual vibe of mandalas, like does the vibe get changed when the design changes, or could somebody come to a mandala maker and say, my daughter is sick with, Flyco can
Mhm.
you make a mandala that will help or something? Is that a thing or not?
I don't know very much about mandalas. I know what they look like. I know what they are. I've seen them before. I've never specifically worked with them, and I don't want to culturally appropriate anyone or anything. But you know,
Not in this world, God forbid.
But I feel like when I've seen them before, as a spiritual person, they have a kind of frequency that's in them. So to answer your question, I feel like yes. I feel like if it's specifically drawn for that person and there's an intention behind it, I mean, anything that we do that has intention, I feel like it is meant to do that. So yes, to answer your question.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, go ahead and reintroduce yourself. I'd like to just have you introduce yourself for each show because
Yeah.
we never know who's watching which show.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm Tammie. I am a spiritual mentor. I help people to understand who they are as divine beings, like you said, tapping into what their true gifts are, who they are as a person, and why we are really meant to come here. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, at some point, I'm going to be brave enough to. I was going to say brave enough to keep my mouth shut. No, that's not what I meant. Brave enough to ask you to help me figure out my life or whatever it is however you would language that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like the last time I was on the show, we kind of did what I like do to begin with. Like it ended up being a really cool episode in my opinion.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Um, you'll have to excuse me. I'm really in the middle of telling a lot of jokes today in my head. I'm trying to not say them all out loud. Give us the contact information that you want the public to have.
Yeah, so if you want to get in contact with me, you can either email me at Tammie, Tammie, at Aurora Relationship Healing, or go to my website, which is aurorarelationshiphealing.com.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
And you're from the United States,
Mhm.
New Jersey, if I remember right.
Yes, that is correct. I'm from Jersey. I lived in
Okay.
Jersey about 11 years, and now I'm living in Poland,
You lived where for 11 years?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Oh my God. Jersey to Tennessee. My dad's from Kentucky, as I probably say in every show.
Oh, okay. Not too far
Wow.
away.
Hmm. Well, what do you, what's your bread and butter in your business? What part of it gets you the biggest slice of don't tell us numbers, but the biggest slice of your income? Is it, doing lobotomies or
Um,
hand massage or
no, it's my one-on-one sessions with my clients and really getting to dive deep in what their specific needs are.
so someone would come with you with a certain need, a certain concern, ailment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exactly. It could be anything from romantic things that you want to solve to
Mm,
family issues to wanting to learn about yourself, like I was saying, what your divine gifts are. It,
okay. So okay, I'm gonna use myself because I do have some dementia. So
yeah.
I remember you being on the show because I had 5 guys call me and say, "Can you help me get a date with her?" And I'm like, "No,
Oh,
I'm thinking of doing that myself." So, so yeah, but I did make like $300 because I charged them all like 50, $60 a piece. Um, so I here's some of my story, and I'll try to be succinct.
sure.
Back in the 1400s, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Mhm.
I've had a lot of abuse over my life, which I've made very public. Um, I'm now 74. I have some kind of dementia. I've got a very long list of disabilities: physical, mental, learning, all kinds of stuff. I'm running this little business here. This is actually a business, even though most people are on for free. And I've always had a very bad relationship with money.
Mm,
I kind of despise money. I was taught at a very early age that wealthy people are, bad in lots of ways.
mhm,
And it's been hard to shed that. Over the years, I've had some wealthy friends and I've worked for wealthy people.
mhm,
Some of that has went away, but most of it's still in there. Now I'm in this situation where Social Security is in jeopardy, and I'm trying to make a little bit of extra money this doing these podcasts, and I just have a hard time asking anyone for money or positioning the show in a way that someone would pay for it. Like I hardly ever even mention that there is a version where you can pay.
mhm,
So what thinketh you?
mhm.
I
Yeah.
was gonna use like a soprano reference, but since they're all Jersey, I figure you know those guys.
Yeah, I've been told before my dad looks like Tony Soprano, so because we're Italian.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, actually it's really funny. I myself have had a very poor relationship with money, and I'm actually going through a course right now that works specifically when it comes to money, the typical like blueprinting, like this is how much money I have, this is how much I should spend. But at the same time, in this course that I'm taking, it also looks at the energetics, the stuff that I do,
Okay.
what's your belief system around money? Where does that stem from? Does it stem from how you viewed your parents and what their relationship with money was? And how have those things kind of churned over time and truly looking within yourself to heal that?
So this is an online course.
Yeah, it is. I have a mentor. I'm in it for 6 months. I
Oh, hmm.
started in the beginning of February. So February, March, April, May. So we're in month 4 right now. And I
Wow.
have truly enjoyed it. It has been one of the best decisions I've ever made. Mhm.
All right. Well, so when people come to you, what else can we say today?
Mhm.
I mean, I do want to get to know you better as a person, but I'm more concerned in having you get possible clients.
Thank you.
Um, People can get in touch with you. You gave us some contact information earlier, right? So
Mhm.
Tammie at Aurora Healing Relationships, plural or singular?
Relationship healing. Mhm.
Hmm. Okay.
Mhm.
So, anything you want to share that I'm not thinking of?
Yeah, sure. I guess when it comes to the different dynamics within relationships, I feel like one of the hot button topics right now is healing your inner child. But
Hmm.
I think that there's so much more than just that. Yes, we have the inner child in us, but we also have our inner teenager who's angsty and who just
Right.
wants to be seen and heard. And then
Right.
there's inner young adult. Like there are so many versions of us in so
Well,
many different
I have my inner shoplifter too, so that's
Oh.
good.
Yeah.
I just love having you on. That's all.
Oh,
So
being here.
what about those different pieces?
Mhm.
Can you tell us something about them? How can we relate to them in a way that maximizes our whatever we're trying to do in life, whether we want happiness or success or whatever we want?
Yeah, exactly. So if we're talking about the inner child, right? Whenever we think about what we're doing in our daily life, we have bills to pay, we have to go to work, we have to drive our car, we have to maintain our home, all those different things. During those daily life tasks that we have, how much time are we really having fun? Are we
Mm,
actually enjoying the life that we're living? Are we actually in like the money that we're creating? How much time are we actually spending with ourselves?
exactly. So I want to ask a question about this, which is this morning I was here at the desk, like I am every day,
Mhm. doing
doing stuff, and I wanted to make coffee. And I live with one other person who owns this house, this prop mobile home.
Mhm.
So I started to make the coffee, and then I wrote her a little
Mhm.
note, because she likes to get the first coffee out of the pot because
Mhm.
it's the strongest. And she's Sicilian, by the way. So I wrote her a little note, and I made a picture of little mountains with sunset, sunrise. And for me, that's a way that I do fun. I take a moment in the day and have fun rather than say, I've worked 21 days in a row. I'm going to take a trip to, Paris or something.
Mhm.
I feel like if I do a little bit of fun stuff each day, then that nurtures each day. It doesn't, the nurturing of the fun doesn't
Mhm.
have to wait 6 months or something. Does that
Yeah.
make any sense or not really?
Oh, it absolutely does. It means that you're trying to be this playful self that you were as a child. And it
Mhm.
also makes me think about the different love languages that we hear about, quality time, words of affirmation, all those different things. And it makes
Mhm.
me think about those love languages are something that develop at a
Mhm.
very young age, and what love languages you need to feel like you're seen and heard by others.
Now, when you meet somebody, I don't know what would you say about what kind of a person comes to you? Are they already kind of spiritually aware? Are they? You don't get the like a truck driver with a broken leg to come in and say, "My wife is pestering the living out of me." You don't get that probably.
No. It's more so I feel like people that are ready for a deeper level of healing, you
Hmm.
know, have tried different avenues, traditional therapy, whatever it may be, and
Okay.
have seen the results they need.
Right. Okay. So they're somewhat ready. They're not just coming to you out of pure pain.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all of us have a level of pain, just because there's different levels of trauma, but they've
Yeah. Then there's different
started.
levels of life. Yeah. Really.
Exactly. Hmm.
All right. Well, and is it like far and away more women than men?
It's so funny that you asked that.
Okay.
Going into this,
Ha ha ha.
but really, because going into this, I was like, I'm gonna work with women. It's gonna be I'm gonna like do women empowerment. And
Right.
recently, I've been drawing men as clients, and I've been like, okay. I never expected it, but okay, I'll
You
take it.
say it again. What did you give a percentage? What did you say?
No, I said recently I've been having men come to me for help,
Okay.
and I wasn't expecting it. I'm totally open to it. I just wasn't
All right.
expecting it.
And
Yeah.
are you getting to be pretty popular in Poland, or no? You think not yet, or
Uh,
around the world online, or
not in Poland, but I have reached people in different parts of the world, which has been really cool.
okay? And why? I mean, I'm just asking what any blankety blank like myself would ask. Why did you decide to move to Poland? I mean, New Jersey is such a paradise.
Yeah. Um,
New
so
Jersey takes a lot of crap, just like Florida does.
yeah, yeah.
No, family or none of my business, or
Well, I
you
don't
work
mind.
part time in a factory making silencers, or what?
No, I'm totally fine with talking about this. This is part of my story. It's part of my
Mm,
awakening to where I am within my business.
okay.
My early 20s, I was in school for
You're in your early 20s now, right?
no,
I almost carded you to be on the show.
no, I'm 33.
If you're under 18, I have to get your parents' permission for real on my show at least.
No, not at all. No, no, no. I'm in my
Mm,
30s.
okay.
Yeah. In my early 20s, I was going to school for interior design, finished,
All right. Okay.
and looked around at my life and was not happy at all. I was
Oh,
I
okay.
was anxious. I went to traditional therapy and
Right.
still couldn't find what I was looking for in life.
Okay.
And the question came to me, what makes me happy? And that was
Oh,
travel. I
oh,
love travel. It's my passion is the thing I love to do.
yeah.
And
Okay.
through that, I said, there are so many people in life that say, "Oh, we'll go on a trip with you." Oh, I'll go, and it never happens.
Right. Right. No, it's yep.
No. So I said, how can I do this? How can I travel financially? How can I focus myself where it makes sense? And that led
Yeah.
me to getting my master's in education. And
Oh, congratulations.
thank you.
That's very
And
wonderful.
yeah, and from there, I knew that Europe was the place for me. I just felt a draw here. I applied to different jobs and got a teaching job here in Poland. It's as simple as
Okay.
that.
So
Yeah,
you do teaching as well as your spirituality. And
yeah.
what grade are you teaching?
Third grade.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Now, do you travel in Europe from time to time, like on a long weekend or something?
I do.
What are
Mhm.
what are some of your favorite countries to go to?
Oh my goodness. Italy is my top choice. It's the place I want to move. It's where
Because you're Italian, or
no, I went to Bologna and Florence, and literally when I touched down, I said, "This is home." I don't know why. It just
okay?
it felt like home.
I love bologna myself, so
Yeah. Yeah. So
she
Italy.
puts up with me. All right, where is Bologna? Tell us about Bologna. Where is it in Italy, and what do they do there? Like, there's one part of the country that makes I think it's up north, some northern Italy, makes the Ferraris and Lamborghinis. And
I
then what does Bologna do? Do you think?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Okay, okay, that's fine.
It's in northern Italy, like you said.
Okay,
I honestly went there because it was a cheap flight and it was
very, very good. You're
that's
so
why.
American, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was easy to get to other cities from there. So
Okay,
yeah.
that's good. I have a friend at church who they like to go to Tuscany,
Mm.
And I read somewhere that some part of Italy may be near Tuscany, may not be. They're
Mhm.
giving people a somewhat nominal stipend if you move there.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So I thought maybe you went to Italy because you wanted to visit Mussolini's grave or something.
Oh, no. No.
Other countries you like to go
Yeah,
to?
I love Spain. I love
Okay.
Ireland. Yeah,
Okay.
I've been to a
I've,
lot
I've,
of places, but those are my favorites, I would
all
say.
right. I've never been to Europe, and I like. Well, I probably say this on every show we do because we always get around to travel. And by the way, I have a friend who's in travel that I want to connect you with eventually in case he can help in some way. He may not be able to, but he might be able to.
I would love
I
that.
like connecting people. It makes me feel like I'm making the world a better place.
Yeah.
Uh, so what was I going to say? I don't remember now. Anyway, so you are your what should I ask? I mean, I don't want to ask personal stuff too much, but we also want to get to know you as a person.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with answering
All right.
personal.
So, husband or wife? Do you have a husband or wife? Do you have kids?
I do not have a husband or a wife. One day, hopefully soon, a husband. No kids.
Okay. Okay. And what do you do when you're not doing your two jobs? You work at 7-Eleven on the graveyard shift.
Exactly. Exactly. No.
Dodging bullets because that's when
Exactly.
the robbers like to come in.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
seriously, what do you play checkers? You play mahjong? You
Yeah.
do domino videos on TikTok?
No, I love reading. I love spending time with family and friends, painting, traveling.
Oh, hey, now there's two there that I love art. I love painting. I love ballet. I love books. I'm a writer. Uh, so tell us what kind of books do you like? What's one of your favorite books like that right now? I feel like I'm lit in terms of literature.
Mhm.
I'm somewhat stuck back in the 1940s to say 65, 70. It's
Mhm.
just the era that I studied the most as a kid.
Mhm.
And I haven't gotten over here to the 20th, 21st century or whichever one we're in. But I did figure out I could ask, I'm big about these AI prompts. I did
Mhm.
figure out that I could possibly ask the AI if I like Frank O'Hara, for example,
Mhm.
who was a New York poet from the 50s and 60s, then whom would I like these days? And then
Mhm.
maybe it'll give me an answer and I can check that out. But for yourself, like, do you know who Stacey Abrams is?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. She's a writer, pretty big American writer. Although I think she might go by a nom de plume. So what's your favorite kind of book to read?
Yeah, so I like fantasy, romance, and kind of like mystery, I guess, sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Stacey Abrams is a romance writer. I'm a fan of hers because she's also in the political sphere.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go see what I can if I can find out what her there's another word for nom de plume, but I can't think of what it is. Her writing name is. Okay. Anyway, uh, what do you guys do there for stores? Do they have the stores comparable to the states or not? I mean,
Um,
probably. Americans are kind of people like me are kind of stupid about. Well, gosh, do you guys over there in Poland have sidewalks and roofs and stuff? You know what I'm saying? I
yes.
I don't want to be that guy, although I probably already am. But uh, what? Just tell me about your daily life in Poland. I don't think I've had anybody from Poland on the show except for yourself. I've had several people from several other countries, but not Poland in particular. I do have a friend whose wife is from Bulgaria,
Mm-hmm.
so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, when it comes to living here compared to the States, I would say my life is very different. You know, in the States, I had a car, drove to work, like an hour one way, an hour back, you know,
In
traditional, like,
this, when you were in the States.
yes, exactly. Here,
Okay.
I also intentionally picked this. My apartment is about a block from my work. So I walk
Okay.
every day. Also, if I go to like the city center, I take a tram and it's maybe 15 minutes. Like that's
So
it.
the mass transit in Poland is pretty good, especially in the cities.
Yes.
And you're in
Yes.
one of the bigger cities like Warsaw, or
No, I'm not in Warsaw. I am in one of the bigger cities. I'm in Wrocław. So it's like the
okay.
fourth biggest city.
All
Hmm.
right, very good. Okay. Well, I don't know what else to ask you today. Maybe you and I can email back and forth with questions or something. I don't know
Sure, that sounds
what else
great.
to. I'm
Hmm.
channeling Barbara Walters, and I was going to ask you, like, if you were a color, what color would you be?
Oh my gosh.
Wasn't she the one who did that Baba Wawa? You're not old enough to know any of that, right?
I know Barbara Walters.
But they used to on SNL. They used to call her Baba Wawa.
Ah, okay.
And by the way, Stacey Abrams' nom de plume is Selena Montgomery.
Still don't know it.
Still don't know her. She does a lot of romance novels.
Oh, okay.
All right. So your favorite color would be what? Like mine is yellow, bright yellow.
Oh, I hate yellow actually. I hate
And
yellow.
that's the last time she accepted an invitation from me.
My favorite color is
Oh
purple.
Lord, yours is probably double black. I don't know. No, what
No,
is it?
no, it's purple.
Okay, hey, I love purple. I'm
Yeah.
from a school in Vermilion, Ohio, whose
Mhm.
school colors were purple and gold.
Oh, there you go.
And since we're by Lake Erie, we were known as the Sailors.
Ah, okay, interesting.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to wrap this. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a wonderful visit here with Tammie. I don't think we found out a whole lot of stuff because I don't know how to ask a question anymore. But if you if you would like to visit with her, and you do most of your meetings, the international ones on Zoom or on phone or both or what?
Everything's video. Yep.
Everything's video. Okay, so just get in touch with Tammie, let her know what's going on. Your dog stole the slippers or whatever's happening at your house,
Mhm.
and she will. She's very cool, my opinion, of course. All right, Tammie, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
If you want to think up some questions for next time, that would be okay, and it would actually be beneficial because I think
Mhm.
when I'm around you, I'm just starstruck, and then I can't think up questions.
Oh,
Some
thank you.
people I can think up questions all day, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Have fun.
Yeah.
Take
Thanks.
care. Anything you want to say to the audience before we jettison out of here? Why don't you give us your email again?
Yeah, sure. It's Tammie, Tammie, at aurorarelationshiphealing.com.
Thank you. Thank you, folks, for your time. Thank you, Tammie, for your time. Many
Yeah.
blessings. Talk to you soon, okay?
Okay. Bye.
Thanks so much, honey.
Mhm.